Ladies, gentlemen, gamers of all ages, welcome to Tric Trac TV. I'm here with Mr. Mathieu from Yellow. I got your name right this time.
Yes.
Go me. This is Happy Pigs. The next game coming out from Yellow at the end of the month, I believe, for the Festival de Cannes.
Of course.
Which is France's big games festival, in the same place they hold the Cannes Film Festival, in fact.
Yes, and we hope to have the game released about the same time in English in the US and in
Excellent.
Europe.
So you can look out for that one in stores at the end of the month. It's a game for 2 to 6 players, 10 years and up, about 40 minutes long, under an hour in any case, and it's a game where you raise pigs.
Exactly.
Square pigs, in fact.
I
want to explain a little background behind that, though, because I found out, I asked them, is it, because this is drawn by Bibun, who some of you will know, he's quite well known in the industry, I think, by now. Did the idea come from him and from them? And it came from the idea that because it's a German game, but instead of having little wooden cubes, you have pigs, so they thought they'd make the pigs cubes, and it just went from there. So I thought that was quite a nice little idea. Anyway, let's get into this capitalist game then. And capitalism it is, all the way home.
Yeah, the goal of the game is to be the richest at the end, okay? We are pig farmers, and we are going to breed pigs, to buy pigs and mate pigs and feed them to make them grow and then sell them to make money, okay?
Sounds simple enough.
The game is played in 16 rounds through 4 seasons. So there's 4 rounds in each seasons. Okay. We all have.
These would be with these. These are sort of event cards, I imagine.
Yes, but there are even more than events.
Different.
When yeah, they're different seasons.
Great. Okay.
So the first thing you want to do in a round is actually flip one.
Right. Okay.
To reveal.
Oh, while we're on the subject, once again, this is the French version of the game, because they're French, if you hadn't guessed. So they bought the French version, but there is an English version. You won't have to learn to speak French.
And there's only text on the season card, so you should be able to follow. And so the season card for each round gives you 2 information. The first information is how many of each of the 4 actions will be available for all the players at this round. And the other one is a small special rules that will be applied at the end of the round. Okay,
so this basically says that you can only feed a maximum of 7 pigs between all the players.
Yes.
And also it seems like 3 vaccinations are given for free to the player with the most small pigs.
Exactly.
There we go.
There are 4 sizes of pigs in the game.
So we've got short, tiny pig. Oh, where's my
the baby pig?
Baby pig.
Small pig.
Slightly bigger pig.
Medium pig. And fat pig.
Fat pig.
Okay. The medium and the fat one are considered as adult pigs. Okay. The other one are just
babies.
Babies.
Gotcha.
Babies and small, but they're not grown enough to have baby actually.
I see. Right.
Okay.
And they have this form because they go onto this, I assume.
Yes, each of the players start with a field,
which the pigs take up space in.
Yes, you can move them
if you're a fan of Tetris.
Yes, and try to fit the most of them on the field. So as I told you, there are 4 actions available in the game. Once you revealed the round card, the season card, each player will choose one of the 4 actions separately in front of them, with those little...
yes, so you have, if you want to pass me a set of them, that way I can show them to the waiting public. These are tiles, they look like this. On one side you have the little question mark, yet on all the other side they have all 4 actions. Up, there we go.
Yeah. And so once everyone picked the action they wanted, you reveal them and you divide the available action from the season card by the number of players who picked this action.
Okay.
So for example, if we were 2 to have picked the feeding action,
so this one here,
there's 7 of them. So
take this up.
We would get 4 and 3 depending on the order of play.
I see. Okay, so it wouldn't be 3 and 3 and then one would go to waste, or 4 and 4 and
no, they're distributed in the order of of play. So now, what are these actions? The first one is the feeding action.
That's this one here.
For each feeding action you have, you can turn one pig to a pig of the larger size.
Right.
Okay, so you just discard a pig and you take
a bigger pig.
A bigger pig and you put it in your field.
Okay.
Now you can only do that once per pig. You cannot make a pig grow more than one size in the same round.
Okay, gotcha.
Now for every, and this is true for every action, for every action that you cannot or you don't want to spend, okay, you get 1 coin.
Right.
So it's always good to have a lot of actions.
Okay.
Always, even if you cannot use them, all of them, you will get coins.
It would be safe to expect that nobody's going to sell pigs on the first turn. So you could technically go for the sell pig action and then just get 10 coins, which could always be useful, that sort of thing.
For example. The second action is the breeding or mating
Make
action.
more pigs out of pigs. Magic.
So for every action you have, you will spawn 1 baby pig for each adult you have.
Well, for each adult, every 2 adults.
Adults. You don't want to know the
no, I don't need to know
the details. But so you, for each action you spawn 1 baby, and you have to have enough adults. So
right. No, I see what you mean. Right.
Yeah, it's not 1 per adult.
Gotcha. So, say for example, there was 3 of us doing the reproduction card. I don't know how you want to call it. That would give us 3 actions each.
Yes.
Which means that if we had 3 adults, we'd get 3 baby pigs.
If you have only 2 adults, you get 2 babies and 1 coin.
So you can't spend it, so you still get the coin for it. Brilliant. Okay. Makes perfect sense.
Then there's the buying action.
This one here?
With a little money bag here.
Gotcha. Okay.
So for each action you have, each buying action you have, you can buy things.
Which is lovely, which is resumed on this card here. Hopla.
The market board, okay?
Gotcha.
So, of course, you can buy new pigs. You have the prices here, okay? So the baby is 3 and so on. You can buy a new field expansion. You can expand your field. The second board is 10. The third is 15 and so on.
20,
so always 5 per extra board. And you can buy little items here.
Gotcha.
Okay? There are 3 kinds of items. Here you go.
There we go. So I assume that's vaccinations, food, and something else?
It's vaccination, birth amulet.
Right.
And food complement.
Okay.
Okay. So the food complement, whenever you use the feeding action, okay, for each food complement you discard, you can make 1 pig grow 2 sizes instead of 1.
I see. Okay. But I assume you then get rid of that token.
Yes.
Gotcha.
The birth amulets allows you, when you use the reproduce action, to spawn a small pig instead of a baby.
Right.
Okay.
Gotcha. So you have one. You have one of. I've got it right here. You have one of these instead of one of these.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And the vaccine works a little bit differently. I told you there were 16 rounds and 4 seasons. So every 4 rounds, you're going to change seasons, okay? And when this happens, you will lose all your untreated pigs. So, so you have to either sell them or treat them before the end of the season.
Gotcha.
So whenever you want, and usually you do that at the end of the season, you can discard 1 vaccine to flip a little pig over.
So you've got a big pig, and then you've got a flipped over big pig,
which is vaccinated. Okay. No, it's safe, and it's safe until it's sold. Okay. So he can survive.
He can survive all the seasons.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's also true if you treat a smaller pig and you make him grow later.
I see.
Okay. He stays
vaccinated. Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Makes sense. So the last action is the selling action.
Right. So that's this one.
It allows you to sell your pigs.
Right.
Okay. So for each action you have, you can sell 1 pig.
Right.
The price you get is the same as the buying price. Okay. Even if some of the season cards change the price, the rate.
I see. Okay.
So sometimes it's more interesting to sell, and sometimes it's more interesting to buy.
Gotcha. Okay.
At the end of the game, at the end of winter, all your vaccinated pigs will be automatically sold.
Right.
So you'll get a lot of money. You can. I guess you can never sell during the game if you have enough vaccine
But if the last turn is one of these cards where it's worth less.
No, you actually sell them after the round.
Okay, gotcha. Fair enough.
Really after. So it's always these fairs. Okay. But you have to have a lot of space and a lot of vaccine to never sell during the game. But
it is a strategy.
Yeah, that's a strategy that can work. And so after that, whoever has the most money wins the game. If there's a tie, players sell everything they have, so all the items and field expansions, and whoever has the most money then wins the game.
Makes sense.
So it's quite simple, because there's only 4 actions. You know, it's easy to choose between 4 actions. There's not too much options, but there's a lot of things to take into account and to look at before you choose one action. What do you need now? What do the other players need, and what they're likely to choose as an action?
Because you've always got, no matter how far you go, you've always got these different states of play, which is more or less actions. One turn, if you're the only one and you get 9 feeding actions, I imagine you're rather happy about that.
It's always more risky to choose an action where there's only 6 actions to share than one where there's 10. Even if you're 2 to choose an action.
But then again, it might be, well, I imagine it is better if you don't think anybody's going to use that action.
Yes,
you can get the most of it.
Of course.
It all depends on what you need, what they need.
The special rule is always interesting to look at too, because it usually makes at least one action more interesting this turn. So do you want to take advantage of that, or do you think everybody will do that and you want to do something else and to be alone to do this other thing?
Of course.
And the last thing to keep in mind is the season.
Yes.
You know, the seasons and the need to vaccinate your pigs or for your pigs to survive for the next season. So with all those information, you have to...
it's definitely a Euro game.
Yes.
It's got pigs instead of factories or whatever else you want to call it, but it's definitely got that Euro game
It's
theme.
an economy game.
Yes, definitely. But I like how it's played down with a nice little cutesy aesthetic and its pigs, and you guys are going to bring out some expansions as well, you were saying.
We actually, when we asked Bibun to draw pigs, the game is for up to 6 players, and actually it plays really well with 6 because you do everything at the same time. You know, you flip a card, then you all choose the action at the same time.
So everybody's constantly playing.
So there's no downtime in a game. And we thought it would be nice to have one different animal for each player.
I see what you mean. Which is actually why there's all these different animals on the base box. You can see the square cows in the background. I particularly like the ducks. I love the ducks, and there's chickens as well. And you were saying penguins. I don't know.
Yeah, there's even a penguin. Well, and
there's a penguin on the winter card, isn't there? Yes. Where is he? There he is.
And so
penguin.
Bibun drew fantastic animals for all of them. But when we tried and made the prototype, that was a lot of things, a lot of different things, and the game is not that complex. So we didn't want it to frighten less seasoned players. So
and it should be important to point. I should point out that in case people haven't understood, that just because there was different animals doesn't mean they had different abilities or were worth more or less.
Just aesthetic.
Whereas that kind of gives the impression that chickens, there'll be more of them, but they'll be worth less or something like that.
So we decided to go only with pigs in the box, but we still have those animals. So what we want to do is we want to release the ducks and the penguins as promo. I don't know exactly how they will be distributed, but they will be available for players. And the 3 other animals, so cows, ducks, and chickens, will be bundled into a small expansion, a cheap expansion, not expensive, just to be available to play with other animals. So each animals will be enough tiles for one player to play with, or you can also share and have all different animals.
Yeah, have all different animals. That would be the funnest thing, I think. Okay, so this was Happy Pigs. It's a game by, and I'm going to try and get this right, Kurokai Mura. This is actually a South Korean game, I believe, a Taiwanese game which you guys imported and kind of did it up
From
Euro
Swan
game style?
Panacea. The first edition was from Swan Panacea.
Okay, and was it still pigs in the first edition, or
Yes.
was that you guys?
Yes.
It was still that. Okay, then fair enough. So anyway, drawn by Biboun, as we keep on saying, he did a brilliant job. Lovely, lovely cutesy aesthetic, makes it stand out definitely. 2 to 6 players, 10 years are up, 40 minutes, under an hour for a game. This is coming out at the end of the month in everywhere. France, America, Europe.
So end of February or maybe March.
Okay.
In some part of the world.
For a price of ballpark it?
It will be 32 euros in France.
Okay.
So I guess less than $40. I don't know how it translates.
But it should be mentioned that when this game, when you get it, it's heavy. With all the punch board, it's very heavy.
It's actually more than 4 kilograms, and it's 14 punch boards.
It's quite a heavy game. Even when I picked it up, I was like, ooh, this is not what I thought it would be. But anyway, thank you very much for coming in.
You're welcome.
Thank you guys for watching. Do keep an eye out for this one if you want a sort of Euro game style game with a bit more of a cutesy aesthetic, a bit more fun, so to speak. It doesn't always have to be factories and cars and all that. It can be pig sometimes, and here's the proof. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.